you guys haven't mentioned maybe the most talented, other than Ohio State, the most talented roster, and maybe the second best coach in college football. You guys haven't even brought them up.
Oregon?
100% Oregon.
Yeah, I think Oregon
They're
will be 3 or 4.
Stacked.
I love Dylan Gabriel. I'm a fan.
I would take them second.
I'm just not. I don't know where I don't know how the Pac-12 teams are going to do going back and forth, West Coast, East Coast, late in November.
It's Midwest.
I'm saying, but still late in November, late in October. Late November, late in October, going to those cold games. I'm going to be cool off. I want to see how Oregon does. I think it's going to be a hard adjustment.
I think Oregon will adjust the best out of all the teams.
I think all Pac-12 teams are going to have all 4 teams are going to have a hard adjustment.
I don't think so. I think Oregon, they're going to keep playing their style. This is the fucking most overrated thing in sports.
The Pac-12?
Well, besides that. I hate when teams sit there and, it's because their style or whatever. Listen, if they play their style all the way through, they'll be fine. Like the NBA had issues for, the Phoenix Suns, their style. Bro, their style led them to 60 games. They slowed down in the playoffs. The game slows down. It doesn't slow down if you slow down.
Right, but it does slow down if you're completely changing your complete schedule that all your players have known since they've been there. All your players are not used to playing Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Rutgers, Indiana. Like those are
garbage.
You're talking about a big time school. And you're going into a conference that it was super top heavy, and Michigan's going to fall off a little bit.
Yeah.
And Penn State struggles at quarterback.
Right, yeah. But it's still I'm saying, to me, the 1 to 7 in the Big 10 for Oregon is going to be much tougher than the 1 to 10 coming from where they're coming from the Pac-12.
The 1 to 10 was trash in the Pac-12.
Your argument was Pac-12 was a great second conference last year.
Yeah, last year, that was one. I was talking about one single year. Now, this year is a completely different story. You're going to the Big 10. You're going to East. You're playing in October, November,
Can you pull
December.
up Oregon's schedule real quick?
Yeah, pull it up. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, good point.
I think Oregon is last year's Michigan. If you look at their roster, they're going to have the most draft picks out of any freaking team.
I'm not saying they're not going to finish top 5. They're going to finish top 5. I'm just saying they're going to have a hard adjustment.
They have the most draft picks coming out of any school next year.
I don't know, man. Ohio State is stacked. Ohio State.
They're always stacked.
Ohio State is stacked.
No, but this is different.
This Ohio State team
is Michigan of last year, I think.
This Ohio State team, I think, is going to be one of those teams
that dominates.
That's just going to dominate. Yes, I think this team is going to put up.
We have to see what this quarterback does. He played at Kansas State, man.
He was fine at Kansas State. They won the Big 12,
which we all agreed, garbage.
Yeah, but he played well. And dude, now you're
playing
with
Dylan Gabriel or this dude, Will Skett?
Rogers.
I know.
All right, so
I like both, man.
Oregon schedule.
I like both.
They're starting off week 1 at home against Idaho, then week 2 against Boise State, week 3 away at Oregon State, week 4 away at UCLA, week 5 home against Michigan State, home against Ohio State.
That's a game.
That's a tough game right up there.
Michigan State, they're beating. Michigan, they're going to annihilate. Their tough game. They're going to be undefeated. That's going to be the first undefeated.
Is that week 7 or whatever?
Whatever 7 or 8. Ohio State at Oregon.
Yes.
Who else do they play after that?
So it's at Oregon. It's in Austin.
It's at Oregon.
It's at Oregon.
And away at Purdue.
Tough game.
Shut the fuck up.
Purdue's known for beating top 10 teams at Purdue.
Yeah, in their division.
Yeah,
in their conference. Like that they see all the time.
Like Iowa. You're talking about Iowa.
Yeah,
Purdue's
and
known
Michigan.
For that. Yeah. Purdue's known to be the giant killer.
Not anymore.
Tough game.
Illinois. Oh my God, Oregon schedule. Fuck. They got to play Michigan too.
Come on now.
And that's got to be on the road.
Home against Illinois, away
at the Big House.
Michigan, home against Maryland, away Wisconsin, home Washington.
That's a tough schedule.
They have a tough schedule. I see them losing 2 games there.
I see them losing
away in Wisconsin also.
I see them losing 2 games. I can see them losing 2 games, maybe 1. I think they could.
I think they roll Michigan.
At the Big House?
At the Big House.
I do.
Oh, I don't know.
Interesting.
At the Big House, I don't know. I think that's a tough game. And that game, if Oregon's favored, it's like -3, maybe.
What month is that too?
Oh, no. That's in October. Or I'm in November.
Oh, it's going to be cold as shit too.
That might be like the beginning of November. Check when that date is.
Which game?
Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Oregon is the Northwest.
November 2nd.
That's different. That Michigan,
and they have Wisconsin to get at home.
Wisconsin's
No,
away.
that's-
November
that's
16th.
another tough
That's a
game.
cold
That's another tough
Yeah.
game.
That's what I'm saying. Those late games, late in the season, on the East Coast, in the Midwest, that's cold. You're in the big house. That's tough. They're not. That's
I'm
not.
not saying
You're
they're
not
I'm
going
not
to
saying they're
Wazoo
easy.
in late November. You're going to the big house in late November. That's a completely different experience.
I
It
see what
is.
you're saying.
It is.
So you don't think Oregon's going to finish the top 5
No, they do.
with 2 losses? Maybe 3. Because you got
Ooh,
Ohio
that's-
State, Oregon.
I said.
So you
I
have-
said top 5 before. That schedule's tough.
So they have Ohio State at home, which I think is a tough game. And I think Ohio State's going to be favored. Then they go to Michigan. Brutal, tough game in November. And then they still, in November, go to Wisconsin,
Ooh.
where Wisconsin is going to fucking eat up 8 minutes of the drive.
Yeah.
And score 3 points.
Jump around. Big fucking deal.
Where do you see Oregon?
I see him in the championship against Ohio State.
In the title game.
In the fucking title game.
I will take Georgia and Ohio State in the title game. I think those are the 2 best teams. I think they finish 1-2 in any order. I think they finish 1-2.
I love me some Dan Lanning, man.
I love Ohio State this year. I think.
Yeah, there was what's
I
not
think
to love.
Their value, their second favorite. I think they're plus 500 to win the title.
I think the running back is a Heisman favorite. There's talent everywhere. Ohio State always has talent everywhere. But what's their MO that they can't win the big game?
We will see.
Yeah.
We will see. Ohio State.
Can't
I
wait.
like 'em.
Can't wait.
I think Alabama is going to be the middle of the pack. They'll be in the playoff.
Yeah, they'll be in the playoff.
I think middle of the pack, though. I think middle of the pack. I think Texas in the SEC, they're gonna have some tough games. They're gonna have some tough games. I think this next season is gonna be best
Chaos.
college football season ever.
Chaos.
Agree.
At
It's
least
chaos.
starting off. This will be the first of many to come
Yeah.
that will be the greatest ever.